A quiet room, the smell of napalm, a country song playing on a dusty radio. For 60 years, Robert Duvall didn't just play characters, he became them. Yesterday, we lost one of the greatest actors who ever lived. He was 95 years old. This is his story. On February 15th, 2026, Robert Duvall passed away peacefully at home, surrounded by love. 95 years. 6 decades of performances that changed cinema. When you've made audiences forget they're watching an actor and all that, legacy transcends time. Robert Duvall didn't just act, he disappeared into roles. He found humanity in places other actors wouldn't dare to look. Today, we're looking at the man who showed us what real acting means. New York City, early 1950s. A cramped apartment. 3 unknown actors sharing rent, sharing dreams, wondering if they'd ever make it. Their names? Robert Duvall, Dustin Hoffman, Gene Hackman. 3 future legends eating cheap noodles, rehearsing scenes, taking whatever small roles they could find just to survive. Duvall was born in San Diego in 1931. His father was a Navy admiral, strict, disciplined, military through and through. But young Robert didn't want to follow orders. He wanted to tell stories. He wanted to become other people. So he went to New York and studied under Sanford Meisner at the neighborhood playhouse. Meisner drilled one thing into his students. Acting is behaving truthfully under imaginary circumstances. Don't act. Become. Don't perform. Live. Duvall took that to heart. Forever. Year 1962. To Kill a Mockingbird. Boo Radley. Boo barely speaks in the entire film. Maybe a handful of words. Most actors would see that as a limitation, a small, thankless role. Duvall saw opportunity. He made Boo unforgettable through pure presence. The way he moved, the way he looked at Scout, the quiet gentleness in his eyes. You felt his loneliness, his kindness, his pain, not through dialogue, through truth. Audiences never forgot him. That's when Hollywood realized this guy was different. Then came 1972, Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. Tom Hagen, the consigliere, the lawyer, the adopted son. The outsider who earned his place at the table through loyalty and intelligence. Duvall didn't play Tom Hagen. He was Tom Hagen, quiet, calculating. When he spoke, you listened. When he stayed silent, you felt the weight of everything unsaid. You believed every word he said because Duvall never lied on screen. The film became a cultural phenomenon. Duvall became one of the most respected actors in the business. Year 1979. Apocalypse Now. Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. That line became iconic, but watch Duvall's eyes in that scene. There's something terrifying, not just madness, but clarity within the madness. Kilgore genuinely believes what he's doing makes sense. Duvall found the humanity buried inside that delusion. He didn't judge the character. He understood him. That's the difference between acting and great acting. Anyone can play crazy. Only a master can make you understand why someone went crazy. 3rd Oscar nomination. Then 1983. Tender Mercies. Max Sledge, a broken country singer. Duvall did his own singing, learned guitar, became Max Sledge completely. There's a scene where Mac just stands there, staring at nothing. And you feel everything: regret, hope, exhaustion, love without a word. The Academy gave him Best Actor. Finally. In his speech, quiet gratitude, no ego, no grand speech. Just thanks. What made Duvall untouchable? Range, pure, undeniable range. A brutal Marine Corps officer in The Great Santini, a father who couldn't turn off the warrior even at home. Oscar nomination. A weathered Texas Ranger in Lonesome Dove, riding through dust and regret, carrying decades of honor and pain. Emmy and Golden Globe wins. A fiery Pentecostal preacher in The Apostle, a film he wrote, directed, and starred in A Man Consumed by Faith and Guilt in equal measure. Another Oscar nomination. A small-town lawyer in a civil action, fighting corporate giants with nothing but principle. Yet another nomination. 7 Oscar nominations total. 1 win. 4 Golden Globes. An Emmy. Countless other honors throughout 6 decades. But forget the numbers for a second. Here's what really matters. Robert Duvall never gave a bad performance. Not once. Not ever. Blockbuster or indie film, big budget or shoestring Duvall, showed up with the same fire, the same commitment, the same hunger to find truth. Directors like Coppola and Pollock consistently said it. Working with Duvall elevated everything. He made everyone around him better. Here's Duvall's secret. He never judged his characters. Never. Kilgore was a war-obsessed lunatic. But Duvall didn't play him as a villain. He played him as a man who made perfect sense to himself, who had his own internal logic. Max Sledge was a washed-up drunk who destroyed everything. But Duvall didn't play him as pathetic. He played him as someone fighting for one last chance at redemption. Tom Hagen wasn't a Corleone by blood. But Duvall never played him as an outsider. He played him as a man who'd already earned his place. That's genius. To prepare for roles, Duvall went all in. For the great Santini, he lived with Marine pilots. For the Apostle, he visited Pentecostal churches across the South. For Tender Mercies, he became a country musician, learned to sing, play guitar, embody that broken artist's soul. He once said, "Find their truth. Don't impose yours." 9 words. That's the entire philosophy. Off-screen? No ego. No drama. Colleagues consistently described him as kind, professional, humble. He mentored younger actors. He treated crew members with the same respect he gave directors. Rare in Hollywood? Most actors slow down with age. They coast on legacy. Duvall didn't. Then 2014. The Judge. Opposite Robert Downey Jr., Duvall was 83 years old. He got another Oscar nomination. At 83, when most actors have long faded, he was still delivering performances that made the Academy pay attention. He kept working because he loved it. Not for money. Not for fame. For the craft. Robert Duvall represented something rare. A character actor who became a legend without chasing stardom. He didn't do superhero movies for paychecks. He didn't take roles to stay relevant. He just did the work. For 60 years. With the same passion he had in that cramped New York apartment with Hoffman and Hackman. Stillness can be more powerful than spectacle. Subtlety can captivate more than explosions. That was his genius. His wife Luciana said it beautifully in her statement. For each of his many roles, Bob gave everything to his characters and to the truth of the human spirit they represented. That's the legacy, truth, commitment, excellence. February 15th, 2026. Robert Duvall passed away at home in Virginia, surrounded by those who loved him. His wife Luciana wrote, "To the world, he was an Academy Award-winning actor. To me, he was simply everything. His work remains. Generations will study his performances. Film students will analyze his choices. Audiences will keep discovering what made him unforgettable. They'll watch Tom Hagen give counsel and feel the weight of loyalty. They'll watch Kilgore surf through war and understand Vietnam's madness. They'll watch Max Sledge sing and feel redemption. That's immortality. Not statues. The work itself, living on, touching people, truth, commitment, no ego. Just the work. Tonight, watch The Godfather or Apocalypse Now or Tender Mercies. Watch a master who understood that acting isn't pretending, it's revealing human truth. Rest in peace, Mr. Duvall. If this moved you, hit that like button. Drop your favorite Duvall performance in the comments. Which role hit you hardest? Subscribe for more on the legends who shaped cinema. Follow for more real celebrity updates as they happen.